Hello, my dear children. How are you? Are you fine? I gladly welcome every one of you to my class. My name is Pramila Susan. Now I am a teacher at MGM HSS Ingapura. In this class, I like to handle 7th standard English text based on SCRT syllabus. I think all of you are safe at home. Home, stay safe now. On this pandemic time, we are learning through online classes. Are you ready to learn with me? If yes, be ready with your pen, pencil, notebook and textbook. If you don't have textbook, don't worry, I will show it on the screen. Before I start the lessons, I am giving you a small introduction about the importance of English language. Do you like to learn English? Why should we learn English? Can you think? Now I give you some points. In the modern world, we are not supposed to live in any particular part of the world. We need to live and work in any part of the world. So, we have to communicate with all the people in all the parts of the world. How is it possible? We need a language that people use all over the world, a common language. English is the only such language, a universal language which is used everywhere in the world. So, don't we need to learn English? Yes, we do. Knowledge of English is a must for us. Every language has its own vocabulary. We learn a language through this vocabulary. Likewise, we can learn English too through these vocabularies. So, what can we do? When you come across any new words in your reading, not the spelling, its meaning, its usage, its various forms, etc., then you write it in your notebook and learn that. Through this activity, you can improve your knowledge about English language and extent. So today itself, start this activity. Will you do? Yes, you will. Now let us start our class. Are you ready? Now I show you some pictures. What do you see in these pictures? What do you feel about this? Do you like to go such places? Yes, of course. You like to go such places of forests, valleys, mountains, rivers, etc. The world we live in is very beautiful with its mountains, seas, animals, birds, trees, plants, flowers, butterflies, etc. Our nature is filled with beauties. We can see, hear and feel such beauties everywhere around us. Our nature is plenty. What can we do to our nature? We have to conserve nature as it is for the coming generations. We must love nature and protect it. Our first unit is Nature's Plenty. In this unit, we will discuss a short story, How Far is the River by Ruskin Bond, a poem, The Echoing Green by William Blake, and another short story, A Snake in the Grass by R.K. Narayan. How Far is the River? The short story describes the adventurous journey of a young boy who goes in search of a river. The Echoing Green the poem describes the happiness experienced by the young and old generations on the arrival of the spring. A Snake in the Garden is another short story tells us about an interesting incident in a typical Indian village. This is a small introduction of the unit, Our Nature's Plenty. In your text, you can see the title of the unit, Nature's Plenty. Did you see? You can see a beautiful nature picture, and this unit begins with a beautiful quotation of Albert Einstein. What is that? Look deep into nature and then you will understand everything better. Look deep into nature Then you will understand everything better. What do you understand from this quotation? If you have any problems or confusions, we will get solutions from our nature. When we start to understand our surroundings or our nature, we can learn so many things for a better and beautiful life. We get good solutions from our nature. Let us begin. Before I start to read, I say that when you are reading, you may come across new words. You write such new words with meanings in your notebook. I will show you such words and its meaning on the screen. Now let us start. Here is a newspaper clipping. Read it carefully. First I am reading for you. You listen carefully and note some words, difficult words, and mark it or write it in your notebook. Okay. Nature's daughter. Jharkhand. Living close to nature is living life in full. Suryamani's story will definitely be an eye-opener to those who deliberately walk away from nature. Suryamani is a tribal nature activist who loves the forest and considers it as her own. She loved the forest and knew that she could do something to save it. In college, she became a part of the Save the Forest movement. She went on nature walks with children on weekends, explaining that our survival is linked with the survival of the forest. Now you pause the video and read the paragraph silently. Did you read? Nature's daughter. What is the news item about? What is the news item about? It is a newspaper clipping about a girl named Suryamani. It is about a girl named Suryamani, a tribal nature activist. Suryamani works hard to save the forest. So for that, what she do? She became an active member. She became an active member of a movement named Save the Forest movement. So what she do? She went on nature walks with children on weekends, explaining that our survival is linked with the survival of the forest. Do you agree? Our survival is linked with the survival of the forest. Do you agree? Yes. It is from nature that we get things such as drinking water, rain, food, wood, medicinal plants, leaves, honey, etc. So, we won't be able to survive without forest. So, we need forest for our survival. Is it? We get good air, we get good water, and everything. We get very quality things from our forest. So we need to protect our nature, our forest for our survival. Imagine you are going on a nature walk with your teacher after this lockdown. How would you experience? How would you experience? What would you see in that forest? What would you see? What would you hear? What would you sense in that forest? Can you imagine? When you walk through a forest, you would see so many things. You would hear so many things. You would sense so many things. What would you hear? What would you see? What would you sense? Can you say? You could see big trees, wild animals, huge rocks, different types of fruits, the beautiful greenery, streams, waterfalls, such things. You could see such things in the forest. When you walk into a forest, you could see such things: big trees, wild animals, huge rocks, different types of fruits, the beautiful greenery, streams, waterfalls, etc. What would you hear when you walk through the nature? You could see some things, then you could hear some things. What things you could hear? The chirping of birds, the cries of animals, the chirping of crickets, the sound of wind, the sound of flowing water. You may hear such things. When you walk through the forest, what do you sense? You could sense the fragrance of flowers, the freshness of air, the coolness of shade, the taste of fruits, the purity and freshness of flowing water. What would you see? You may see the fragrance of what would you sense? You may sense the fragrance of flowers, the freshness of air, the coolness of shade, the taste of fruits, the purity and freshness of flowering of the purity and freshness of flowing water. Okay, you may see, you may hear, you may sense so many things when you walk through a forest. Now I give you an assignment for you. Write a paragraph. What would you see, hear, sense in a forest? You may write about a paragraph about the I give you the question. Now write a paragraph. What would you see, hear, sense in a forest? This is a textual question also. You can answer it yourself and show this answer to your teacher. Now we move on to the story. Before we start the story, we meet the author of the story. Who is the author of the story? Ruskin Bond. He is an Indian writer who writes in English. He has written novels and poems and is known mostly for his contributions to children's literature. He has more than 500 short stories to his credit. Now we move on to the story. How far is the river? Here is a story who sets on a trip to appreciate the beauty of nature. Where does he go? What does he see there? How does he feel? Let us find out. How far is the river? Between the boy and the river stood a mountain. The boy was young and the river was small, but the mountain was big. Between the boy and the river stood a mountain. What stood between the boy and the river? A mountain stood between the boy and the river. The boy was young. How was the boy? The boy was young. And the river was small. How was the river? The river was small. But the mountain was big. Now you read that paragraph. First paragraph. Did you read? Between the boy and the river stood a mountain. The boy was young and the river was small, but the mountain was big. A big mountain stood between the boy and the river. The boy was very young. The river was small, but the mountain was big. Now to the second paragraph. The thickly frosted mountain hid the river, but the boy knew it was there. He had never seen the river with his own eyes, but from the villages he had heard of it, of the fish in its waters and of its rocks. He wished to touch the water and know it personally. The thickly frosted mountain hid the river. What hid the river? The thickly frosted mountain. What is frosted? Frosted, frosted, snow-clad mountain. The thickly snow-clad mountain hid the river. But the boy knew it was there. But the boy was sure about the river. He had never seen the river. He saw with his eyes, he didn't see the river. But from the villages he had heard of it. But he had heard of the river. From the villages. From the villages he had known about the river. He had known about the fish in its waters and of its rocks. He had known about the river through the villages, and he also known about the fish in its waters and of its rocks. He wished to touch the water and know it personally. So he wished. What was his wish? His wish was to touch the water and to know it personally. Now you read the paragraph. The thickly frosted mountain hid the river, but the boy knew it was there. He had never seen the river with his own eyes, but from the villages he had heard of it, of the fish in its waters and of its rocks. He wished to touch the water and know it personally. The first textual question is, what prevented the boy from seeing the river? What prevented the boy from seeing the river? What blocked the boy from seeing the river? The big mountain prevented the boy from seeing the river. The second textual question, what did the boy hear about the river from the villages? What did the boy hear about the river from the villages? About the different kinds of fishes in it, and also about its rocks. He had heard about the fishes in the water and also about its rocks. Now we move on to the third paragraph. He stood in front of his house on the hill opposite the mountain and gazed across the valley, dreaming of this river. He was about 12 years old, a sturdy boy with untidy black hair and shining black eyes. He had fine features and a clear brown skin, but his hands and feet were rough and scratched. He was barefooted, not because he couldn't afford shoes, but because he liked the feel of warm stones and cool grass. The boy stood in front of his house on the hill opposite the mountain. He stood in front of his house on the hill opposite the mountain. The mountain was opposite to his house. So, and gazed across the valley. Gazed means, what is the meaning of gaze? Look continuously. He always looked across the valley, dreaming of the river. He always dreaming about the river. He was 12 years old. How old the boy was? The boy was 12 years old. A sturdy boy, a strong body type, a sturdy boy with untidy black hair. Here he didn't comb his hair. Untidy black hair and shining black eyes. He had fine features and a clear brown skin. His physical features is describing here. He was about 12 years old, a sturdy boy, a strong body type, with untidy black hair. Here, not here, his hair is not combed, and shining black eyes. He had fine features and a clear brown skin, but his hands and feet were rough and scratched. He was barefooted. He preferred walk without shoes. He was barefooted not because he couldn't afford shoes, but because he liked the feel of warm stones and cool grass. He liked to touch the he liked to touch the ground. He liked the warm stones and cool grass, so he preferred to walk without shoes. So he was barefooted. Now you read that paragraph. The third paragraph. He stood in front of his house on the hill opposite the mountain and gazed across the valley, dreaming of the river. He was about 12 years old, a sturdy boy with untidy black hair and shining black eyes. He had fine features and a clear brown skin. His physical features are describing here, but his hands and feet were rough and scratched. He was barefooted, not because he couldn't afford shoes, but because he liked the feel of warm stones and cool grass. The third textual question is what? Why did the boy like to walk barefooted? Why he preferred to walk barefooted? Because he liked the feel of warm stones and cool grass, so he preferred to walk barefooted. Okay, today now I am giving you 3 textual questions. We already discussed the possible answers. Write it on your notebook very neatly. Now I am winding up today's class. I hope you enjoyed this class. Leave your good comments below. With love and hope, bye. We will meet again on next class. Bye.